All right, a very good evening to one and all present here. My name is Pranjali Magar and I'm from Skillsphere Education. And we are here for the grand finale of Super Speakers Debate Championship 2.0. Now, I'm really excited for today because I have closely seen the participants perform right from the preliminary round till finals, till semi-finals, I'm sorry. And I can't wait to see them perform in finals. We have them here. We also have our judges. So without wasting any more time, let's quickly get into understanding what exactly is going to happen today. So yes, we are here for the championship grand finale. And as you all know, many students have participated right from the beginning, but only 2 have made it so far. And they've really done so well throughout the entire competition. And I can't wait to tell you how happy and excited I am to witness them present their arguments for a very interesting topic that we're going to look at today. But before that, I think it's my duty to tell you a little bit about Skillsphere Education, the company that is organizing this wonderful championship. So Skillsphere was actually founded in the year 2013. And what we primarily do is we focus on the development of soft skills and 21st century skills among students of grades 3 to graduation. We look at something called as a 3D model of learning, which is our very own homegrown model. And we believe that activity-based learning is something that kids today really enjoy and take a lot from. So we have tie-ups with multiple schools across India and the Middle East, and we are very, very happy to be conducting today's championship. So without wasting any time, let's quickly understand who are our 2 finalists for today. And yes, these 2 are quite famous by now. That is Arnav Sharma and Isha Menon. They have qualified for the grand finale of the championship. And I think it would be great if these 2 wonderful students could introduce themselves. So I would like to call upon Arnav to go ahead and introduce himself and tell us what is the feeling that he's having right now. Yes, Arnav.
I am Arnav. I'm in class 6th and I'm from Mumbai. I'm like really nervous right now. I didn't think I would get so far, but now that I'm here, I'm feeling really nervous. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Well, Arnav, I'm sure we all are aware that you will be a little nervous, but I'm sure you'll utilize this nervousness to your abilities to perform better, okay? So all the best, Arnav. Let's listen to what Isha has to say. Yes, Isha.
Hi, I am Isha and I am nervous too. And I look forward to participating in the finale, and I wish my opponent the best of luck too.
Thank you so much, Isha. And I really want to wish the both of you the very best. It is now time to introduce you all to our lovely judges for the evening. Okay, we have 2 wonderful women who have joined us to judge the grand finale. Let me quickly introduce you to Ms. Shrutkirti Kothari. So since kindergarten, Ms. Shrutkirti not only excelled in academics, but also demonstrated a keen interest in arts, culture, and sports events. She has actively participated and won in various debates and oratory events, including MUNs in her school and colleges. She pursued her BTech from VIT Vellore and MBA from MDI Gurgaon. She comes with a very professional experience of 7 years and has worked with Sapient EY, Tata Communications, and a range of other top-notch companies. She loves to travel and consume content via books and movies and play when she's not working. Ms. Shrutkirti, is there anything you would like to say to our participants?
Thanks, Pranjali. Guys, really excited and really looking forward to listening to each of you. Both of you already seem very smart to me. Wishing you both best of luck. Just be yourself, be calm, and I'm sure you're gonna kill it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shrutkirti, and I'm sure our participants have taken your words positively. On that note, I would like to introduce our second judge for today, Ms. Simran Nerurkar. Ms. Simran Nerurkar is an actor and singer based in Mumbai. She recently portrayed the role of Gurleen in the Z5 original web series Sunflower. She sings Hindustani semi-classical and is currently training in Western classical vocals. She's a trained method actor and also enjoys writing fiction. painting, and reading her favorite books on rainy afternoons. She's here to judge the event for us today. Yes, Miss Simran, over to you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss Simran.
Hi. I'd just like to say, if you're nervous, Arnav and Isha, it's kind of a good thing. I feel like nerves are really, really good right before a performance. It goes to show that you're just going to give it your all and, do your best. I think I've been nervous before almost every performance I've ever had. So don't be afraid. Use it to your advantage, like you said. And best of luck. I'm so excited to see what you guys are going to bring to the table for us. Best of luck.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Miss Simran. And on that note, let us quickly get into understanding the format that we are going to follow in today's finals. So the format that we followed in the semi-finals is same as the grand finale. We are going to follow the Bombay style of debating. Now, the Bombay style of debate has become extremely popular in schools and colleges during recent times, and it is also referred to as the modified Oxford style of debate. In this style, there is a lot more focus that's given to the rebuttal, which is the questioning round, as compared to the Frank Anthony Memorial style of debating. It is typically a team versus team debate. However, in our case, we are going to have a one versus one debate today. There will be a moderator who will preside over the debate, that is me, and a set of judges who will be marking the contestants. Our judges have already been introduced. One contestant shall speak for the topic, while the other contestant will speak against the topic. That's opposition and proposition. Now, the format is as follows. The moderator presides over the rebuttal. First, the contestant speaking against is allowed to ask a question to the contestant speaking for, that's proposition. The closing speeches are just concluding statements to be made by both contestants, so no new points are allowed to be made during the closing speeches, which have not been covered in the rebuttal or in the opening speeches. If such points are made by either of the contestants, then the moderator might mention this to the judges so that they can ignore these points. Adhering to time limit is very important in the Bombay style of debate, and not doing so might lead to negative marking. While use of paper for reference is allowed, if a contestant reads out of the paper through the duration of the speech, it might lead to negative marking. And I'm sure our students already know these rules, so they are going to follow them to the T. I request our students to kindly rename themselves as opposition and proposition. Well, they've already done it. Wonderful. So let's understand the flow of the debate and the time limit. For the opening speech by the proposition, you have 2 minutes 30 seconds, followed by the opening speech by the opposition for 2 minutes 30 seconds. Then we have the rebuttal round for 5 minutes, closing speech by the opposition for 1 minute 30 seconds, and finally closing speech by the proposition for 1 minute 30 seconds. So this is the format, judges please note. And with that, it's time to reveal our topic, which is esports should be allowed to enter Olympics. Now, this is a very interesting topic considering the Tokyo Olympics recently took place, and I'm sure that a lot of us are still in that Olympic fever. But it's interesting to think and hear what our students feel about whether or not esports should be allowed to enter Olympics. So without any further ado, I think it's time for our participants to debate. Let me tell you, don't hate, debate. Isha and Arnav, all the very best. We are going to start off with the debate. Let's start off with the proposition's opening speech for 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Arnav Sharma, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So, hi, I'm Arnav, and today the topic is esports should be allowed to enter Olympics, and I will be presenting my reasons for the motion. The first reason why I feel esports should be allowed to enter Olympics is because of the number of people engrossed in it. According to a news report published by DFC Intelligence, there were nearly 3.1 billion gamers by the mid 2020. The world's population is around 8 billion people, meaning almost 40% of the population are playing video games. Another reason why I think that esports should be allowed is the competition. Competition sits at the foundation of esports. People all across the world love tuning in and watching the pros play each other in competitive matches. Fans love watching their favorite sport played at the highest level. Also, the skill needed for esports far exceeds any other sport, which makes it fair category in the Olympics. There too are a lot of benefits of esports, which include teamwork skills, increased hand-eye coordination. Research indicates that the complex coordination necessary to compete at a high level, esports can improve hand-eye coordination skills. Honestly, playing video games will help. Let's come to the effects in physical training. The three major adaptations include improved endurance, an increased ability to cope with stress, an improved cognitive function, improved mental, and to some extent, physical endurance develops from increased energy level. Other benefits of esports include boosting self confidence and player socialization. Also, the IOC, which is the International Olympic Committee, could easily improve the standing of esports to a larger audience and take the step further that many countries are unwilling to go. The reward from such a move would be large as the Olympics need esports for the future. Younger generation are a lot more invested in digital world. So these are the benefits and my reasons why esports should be allowed in the Olympics. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arnav. Judges, please note Arnav has spoken for 1 minute and 55 seconds. With that, we are going to proceed to our opposition. Isha, you have the floor for the next 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Good evening, everyone. I am Isha Menon and I am speaking against the topic esports should be allowed to enter Olympics. I would like to mention that the question is not about liking or promoting esports, it is about including it in the Olympics. I would like to mention a few points why I believe esports should not be included. When the Olympics were created in Greece, they were meant to be a competition to show physical perfection in different forms of sports. Esports doesn't include any physical activities and neither is it a physical form of sport. Staring at the screen for hours, typing and twiddling the mouse without any form of exercise is exactly the opposite of sports. Olympics are supposed to be a carnival for athletes, and as popular as esports can get, players don't become athletes. China, one of the leading performers in the Olympics, has called gaming an addictive and bad habit and has restricted the Chinese nationals to playing only 3 hours a week. Needless to say, it looks bleak that China would participate in the esports competition, and many other countries are looking to impose such decisions too. Furthermore, all sports in Olympics need to have a sports governing body that decides the standard rules for gameplay, like the BWF and the International Gymnastic Federation, amongst many more. Is there an international committee of esports? No. And to develop such a committee would take years in itself. If you think about it, Olympics showcase different traditional sports like football, gymnastics, badminton, tennis, etc. The rules of these sports are known and way less complicated than that of esports. And those new to esports, many games are too complex to understand without knowing how to play. So the viewership will exclude the majority of population. The IOC has already voiced concerns that violent video games should not be a part of the Olympics. I would like to conclude by saying that esports are not physical forms of exercise or sports and hence should not be included in the Olympics. Instead, there can be a different competition for esports like the ESL and the internationals. Thank you.
Thank you, Isha. Judges, please note Isha has spoken for 2 minutes 5 seconds. With that, we are now going to move into the rebuttal round. Now, the rebuttal will happen for 5 minutes. We are going to start off with the opposition's question first, followed by the proposition. So, Isha, over to you.
Yeah. My question is that, as I mentioned in my opening speech, China has imposed the 3 hour per week gaming rule. Not only this, countries like Venezuela, Brazil, Japan, South Korea, and Australia have many a times banned a lot of apps for esports, and sometimes even put a temporary ban over the whole gaming niche. If such countries do not promote gaming, how low would the participation in of esports be?
Okay, so what my answer to that question is, including America, there are a lot of players who play esports in America itself. So basically, what I mean to say is, if esports were added to the Olympics, the participation would still be high, because the countries in which esports aren't banned are the countries in which people play a lot of esports, and there are competitive gaming for it.
Might I, can I follow up?
No follow-up, Sisha, unfortunately. It's now time for Arnav to ask his question.
Okay, so this generation is more engrossed in the digital world, and adding esport to Olympics would greatly infuse many pro gamers to participate, thus resulting in more competitive gaming and interest from the audience. Don't you think that this is really necessary for Olympics?
No, I don't think that's necessary for Olympics, because Olympics is supposed to be a carnival for like athletes from different countries coming together and playing and competing in different forms of sport. And these are supposed to be physical kinds of sport and not digital sports like the esports, etc. And as for competitions, there are a lot of competitions going on worldwide, which include only esports and not other physical forms of sports. I don't think that esports should be included in the Olympics, which is only supposed to be a physical competition for sport.
Yes, Isha, please follow with your question.
Yes. My question is that the graphics of gaming apps and esports is many a times extremely violent and explicit. So, if such games are played and promoted at the Olympics, won't it encourage or like influence young minds of children?
Okay, so my answer to that now is that there are some games which are violent. To prevent that from influencing young minds, we can put rules to, like, esports should be only allowed for 18 or above, or we can put rules in which esports aren't violent games. So there are still gamers who play games which aren't violent.
But esports is, but Olympics are supposed to be watched by the whole family together, and it is kind of like a family event, etc. So when it's like restricted to ages above 18, don't you think that the audience will fall by a lot?
It won't. The audience won't, because most of the gamers who play right now are already above 18, and the others, the kids who play, they are also restricted by their parents, of course, to play suppose 2 hours in a day or so. So if you're playing, suppose Fortnite is a battle royale game, it's violent, but it doesn't influence the minds a lot, because there are gamers in those violent games which are creative too.
Arnav, please follow with your question.
Yeah. So you said that Olympics is only for physical participation, but VR in some places, even VR with those headset and the hand gestures, it's also in some places esport leagues. So you can include VR in esport too.
But the amount of fitness in the amount of fitness and physical activities in gaming is comparatively like so minute to these physical sports like football and tennis and badminton, etc.
Can I follow up?
Yes.
Okay, so but okay, so physical, there are already a lot of sports for physical. What about the skills you learn, the strategical development, the hand-eye coordination skills? What about those? Those are really needed for us too.
Yes, but they can't be, they can't be called physical sports, and that is what Olympics is all about. If Olympics was about hand-eye coordination and like learning and teamwork, etc., so even chess could have been included in the Olympics, but it isn't because it's not a physical form of sport.
Isha, please follow with your question.
Yeah. Since esports are comparatively new and the gameplay is way more complicated, do you expect like a massive amount of people will watch the esports even after you said, this 18 plus age ban, etc.?
Yes, I would, because even if there are players playing above 18, the audience can still be kids, because as I said, 3.1 billion people in the world, which is 40% of the world, are into video games. So the audience would be still larger than any other sports, and because they wanted to see the competitive gaming.
But I
All
thought,
right, that's about it. Our time is up, unfortunately, participants. Now we move on to the closing statements. I would like to call upon the the opposition for their closing statement first, followed by the proposition. Yes, Isha, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to support my opening speech. The Olympics is to me about human physical excellence, and even though esports requires talent, skills, etc., it does not require any physical capabilities. Traditional sports have always been physical and require a healthy body and a healthy mind. And the Olympics have been a way to promote and pronounce such sports. So it's obvious that if esports are a part of the Olympics, the influence of esports will increase. However, if esports are promoted in the Olympics, many people will get influenced by the unhealthy balance of screen time and physical fitness and totally neglect the latter. Gamers' addiction, gamers' thumb, joint pain, etc. are a few issues gamers face. For IOC recognized as a sport, they said that they must not infringe in, yeah, infringe on the Olympic values. I would like to conclude by saying that esports should not be included in the Olympics because it does not categorize as a physical sport.
All right. Thank you so much, Isha. Judges, please note Isha has taken 1 minute 40 seconds. With that, we move ahead to Arnav's closing statement.
In short, esports should be allowed in the Olympics because it would greatly increase the competition, as over 40% of the world population is engrossed. The fact that the younger generation is more invested in the digital world is all you need to take the esports to the Olympics. Benefits that include teamwork skills, increased hand eye coordination, boosting self confidence, and player socialization should not be forgotten too. Basically, if esports were added to the Olympic, fans from all over the world would fill arenas, making the whole event lively, increasing the popularity. Also, esports requires skill exceeding any games, as I mentioned, so it makes it a fair category in the Olympics. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Please note Arnav has taken 1 minute. And with that, we come to the end of this wonderful debate that our students have participated in. Really, you have done a fabulous job, both of you. And, it didn't feel like y'all are done with the debate. I still want to listen to it. I'm yearning to listen for more. And I'm sure judges also resonate with the same. And right now, I think it's important that before we get into the scores, understand the winners, I would like to ask the judges about their feedback. So we are going to start off with Ms. Kirti. If you would please go ahead and share feedback for our students.
Hi. I think I really enjoyed this debate. Both of them were really, really good. They presented some really good points. Starting with a little bit about Isha. I think she was. I mean, both of them were very good with their content, tone, and volume. I think all of these three things are very sorted. Isha actually took care that her speed was in moderation along with the tone, which I think was really good. What can probably be a little better is the structure part of it, and not using a lot of fillers while you're speaking, right? So something like an etc. Or when you're talking, trying to bring some structure to your speech when try to put it in points. First point, second point, third point, or A, B, C. That will always give you some time to think. And at the same time, it will also make a better impact at the other people who are listening. But yeah, that's about it. For Arnav, like I said, the things that were already good for the two of them was definitely the the content, tone, and volume. But I think Arnav had an excellent body language. I really liked how he was smiling while he was also delivering. There were times when he was actually he was taking the arguments in a very good spirit. It was actually visible while he was talking. His style was also very good when he was making his points and even while he was rebuttaling. What can be better is the speed part. In sometimes in flow, because he would have a lot to say, he would just be a little fast. So at that point in time, just sort of brace yourself a little so that each of your point is enunciated properly and comes across as more articulated. But apart from that, I felt overall both of you were really good. One common feedback for the two of you: try and concede when the other person makes a good point, right? We will always gonna stand for our own argument because we firmly believe in it. You can still believe in your argument and make a point while you give credit where the credit is due. Sort of four things somebody is saying, one point could be a really good point. Resonate with that and move forward with your own point. I think you guys were very good. You were terrific with your content and delivery. All the best.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shrutkirti. And I'm sure Isha and Arnav, you are going to use this valuable feedback in the future, no matter what the result is. With that, we come to our second judge, Ms. Simran Nerurkar. Yes, Ms. Simran.
Hi, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I think both of you were so good. You were so confident, so sort of concise. I didn't feel for a second like, like my attention was sort of straying. I was very riveted because all the points you had to make, I felt like A, they were really well researched, and B, they were put forth so confidently that you convinced me. So I am actually really torn on what I believe now. And yeah, and as for the constructive criticism that Shrutkirti gave, I think I completely agree with her. um, Conceding to someone else's point really goes a long way, because it kind of sort of adds this level of I don't know what the word for it is really, but a level of this layer of mutual respect, if you know what I mean. Not that your rebuttal was in any way disrespectful or aggressive, and I think that was a great something that I really appreciate and respect as well, because a lot of times the rebuttal can get a little bit heated, which I was very proud of the fact that both of you held your own in such a mature and such a calm, studied way, which is really important in a debate. And also, yeah, but when it comes to speech, I think adding fillers is something we all struggle with. It's very difficult to, sort of bang out a complete sentence without any ums, ers, and ers. But that's something that will come with time and practice. But all in all, I think it was really wonderful, very well backed points, really good, like well researched points. Not for a second did I feel like it was floaty, flowery, and just, just points made for the sake of making points. So yeah, well done, you guys. I really enjoyed myself. It's going to be difficult to score, you guys, but yeah, well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Simran. And I completely resonate with what both our judges have mentioned, especially about your performances, Isha and Arnav. You've done a fabulous job. And let me tell you, it was a topic that is quite challenging in the sense that, you have to present your viewpoints and opinions, but at the same time, you have to sound logical. And both of you, you were so articulate with your speeches, the way your, as Ms. Shrutkirti also said, your body language, your facial expressions, all of these things were really on point. And I'm highly, happy to see the way that y'all have performed today. And on that note, before we go ahead, I think it's important to talk about something that we do at SkillSphere, which is going to help a lot of students who are watching us today to be excellent speakers, exemplary orators like our two participants today. So the Super Speakers Workshop Seniors is for students from ages 11 to 14. And what we do at the workshop is we train students to be fluent public speakers, simply the best version of themselves. We teach the art of public speaking, critical thinking, personality development, among a range of other 21st century skills, which are extremely important. And we have been conducting this for a very long time now. And we are sure that those of you who are interested, y'all can simply, enroll, y'all can book a free trial with us, and we'd be happy to have you, at least for the demo, if not for the entire workshop. So that is something about the Super Speakers Workshop. Now, for those of you who believe in personalized training, we also have Super Speakers one-on-one workshop, which is for students who require training in specific areas that they think they need to improve in. I know their parents also joined us today. So parents, if you think that somewhere in the middle of this virtual classroom, the child is not getting the attention they require, then the Super Speakers one-on-one workshop is here to save the day, because we actually ensure that students are not only trained about skills, but they're given personal attention. So that is something that happens in this workshop, and you can book a free trial for that as well. Now, on that note, let me tell you the most awaited part for today. The results are going to be announced at 8:30 p.m. on our social media handles on Facebook and Instagram. These are our handles. You can take a note of it. And I'm sure Arnav and Isha are going to be stuck to their parents' handles to see the results. And trust me, even I am not sure who's going to win because you both have done so well. Yes, Arnav, we are going to come to you. Okay, unfortunately, your audio isn't working, Arnav.
Well, the sad part is my parents aren't here, so I'll have to call them and ask them.
That's very unfortunate, Arnav. If you still don't find it, we are here to help you with the results, okay? And with that, one last time, don't hate a debate. We are now here with Isha and Arnav, and I think we really want to hear their feelings, their thoughts, their feedback about the grand finale of Super Speakers Debate Championship Juniors. So, Isha, over to you.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot and I had a lot of fun. So, thank you to both the judges for the constructive criticism, and also thank you to Miss Pranjali, the moderator, and thank you to my opponent for giving a tough competition. And I wish we both could win, but then.
That's really sweet of you, Isha. And I think for me, I think it's the first time I'm witnessing an opponent saying thank you. So that's very sweet of you, Isha. And yes, Arnav, is there something you would like to add on?
Yeah, I would like to tell thank you to all of you because like I really enjoyed my time here, and Isha was really convincing at some time. So I was like, okay, she's giving tough competition. So, and thank you to all of you. I really enjoyed the debate.
Wonderful. So at the end of the day, yes, winning is important, no doubt. That's why we have the competition. But what's more important is the lessons that you've learned, the experience that you've gained throughout. And I'm sure this experience is going to be one of those memories, one of those unforgettable experiences that you've had in your life. So on that note, I would like to say a big thank you to all our viewers who have joined us through YouTube Live. Thank you so much for always supporting us and our students who are here today. A big thank you to our judges for taking the time out on a Sunday evening. It's very difficult, but I'm so thankful to the both of you for taking time out and listening to our students. That is very, very kind of you. And I hope, we do happen to meet once again for one of the competitions. We are not going to leave you alone. We are definitely going to trouble you again and invite you because we were very happy to have both of you today. And I would like to thank the entire Skillsphere team, everybody who's worked so hard in making this competition a success. All the students who didn't qualify for the grand finale but participated, gave their very best. Good job. All of you have done well. And let me tell you, we will have another edition of the Super Speakers Debate Championship very soon. Okay, so you have to prepare, you have to take note of all the feedback that was shared throughout, make the most of all of the valuable words that our judges have shared, and participate in the next edition. On that note, thank you so much once again, everybody. This is Pranjali, the moderator for today, signing off. Bye-bye, everybody.